Hey everybody, welcome back. You know, routine maintenance like cleaning and oiling your chain becomes so much easier if you have access to a motorcycle jack like I do here in the Tinker Shed. But if you're out on the trail or maybe on a multi-day trip, you lose the ability to have access to that lift. So when it comes time to oil your chain or heaven forbid change a tire, it becomes challenging, especially if you're a solo rider. It becomes difficult. Now there are a few options out there. The DR650 doesn't come with a center stand, but there are aftermarket manufacturers who do make one. However, many riders don't like the fact that you give up ground clearance for the center stand, especially if they're a little more of an aggressive dual sport or enduro rider that are trying to get the maximum out of the DR650. Now that leaves most riders with a few options. The one that I'm going to look at today is a trail stand. Now I ordered this one from Amazon and it was reasonably priced at $32 Canadian. And my friend Karl is coming over right now so we can review it, try it, and let you know if your hard-earned money is worth the $32 that you would have to spend to own this. So stick around, grab something cold to drink, and enjoy the show today on Dino's Tinker Shed. This ought to be a fun one. That looks good. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Dino's Tinker Shed. I'm here with my buddy, Karl. And if you remember a few weeks back, Karl and I unboxed a few items, and this is one of these items. What do we got here, Karl?
Well, they tell me it's a jack for a motorcycle.
Okay.
Let's see, we'll take it out of this bag.
So this is the JFG jack, I think, right?
Yes, it is.
It absolutely is, yeah. Okay.
What do we got here? We got an Allen key, an extra, looks like a silicone rubber thing for the frame, and the adjustments.
This must just be to hold it together, I guess.
I believe this would, hold it together and maybe hold your brake lever so the bike doesn't shift while you're wrapped around, lock it, and your bike's not going to shift.
Yeah, so you don't need someone to hold it.
Something's not gonna, it's not going to roll off the stand.
Yeah, because I used to use a toe clip strap from a mountain bike for that kind of stuff, but that makes sense now. Yeah. Okay, and it looks fairly robust, I guess, eh?
Where's it made? China?
I think it's made in China. Yeah, so I bought this off of Amazon.ca. I've been looking at it for a while, and this was, I think, $32 Canadian is what I paid for this, and it's like you were showing there. It's an over-center jack, so when it comes up, it sort of locks in place. And I have a feeling that that Allen key maybe actually goes in that hole there to support it once the jack is actually up. It acts like a little bit of a lock for it.
Yeah, you're not just relying on the little bolt here.
Yeah, but I thought, like, for $32, it was worth trying to see whether or not this thing works. Like, I mean, well, you know what it's like out on the road like this. Like a jack like this could be handy, right?
Will it get you out of the jam?
It will get you out of the jam.
Get you out of the jam? Because you're in a jam and you got a flat on the trail and no center stand.
That's true. The DR does not have a center stand. Most modern bikes don't seem to come with them anymore.
No, it seems to be an option.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess daily maintenance would work on this too, right?
Yeah, I've lubed the chain, whatever. Yeah.
And it's important to note. The DR650 especially still has tube-type tires, so you have to take the tire right off the rim, or off the bike at least, to get to the inner tube.
Yeah, it's a bit of a job on the trail.
Yeah, if you had the tubeless tires, I think you could use those bacon strips, right?
You could patch, yes.
But you still probably have to get the tire changed eventually, right?
Yeah, depending on how big the hole is.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing 80 miles an hour down the interstate and on a tire with a patch in it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well,
so
if it was properly patched, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't all that heavy either. I think this comes in about a pound, 1 pound 3 ounces, or about 560 grams. So if you're an economist type rider where every ounce counts, this might be an option too, because the center stand, even though they're available, probably would weigh in a little bit more and hinder your ground clearance.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I guess the next thing we should probably do is try this out. Now, what do you think if we sort of pretend like I'm on my own? Because that would be the way to go,
right?
Yeah. You see a lot of solo riders now.
Yeah, you don't know.
Okay, so that's
who gets a flat on the road anyway?
Okay, so if the bike falls on me, you can help though, right?
I can help you. I'll step in.
Okay, so let's go and we'll take a look at this thing and see if I can get it to work on my own here. And then we'll come back maybe and review it and give our thoughts on what we think of this thing.
Yeah, it looks okay, but I wouldn't be crawling under it. But
no, I wouldn't either.
You know, I like to try, like, do a couple before you go on the trip. Try it out, make sure it's going to be. You might have to build a little something off the frames to lock it in.
Yeah, well,
because some of these bikes, there's nothing really.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm kind of thinking is this here for the swing arm makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect.
But up front, when you got to try to lift the front tire, where am I going to be able to find a place to purchase that off of to get the front end off the ground?
Yeah, is it high enough? Or are you going to be looking for a boulder to put it under?
That's right. That's right.
Extra stuff for that flat, like I think.
No, it is nice. It's got an articulated foot on it. I didn't really notice that, but that would actually articulate to different ground covers, eh?
You hope.
And wasn't there a rubber cap for that too? Did I see in the bag?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Oh, look.
Ah, there we go. Yeah.
Make her bigger.
Makes it a little bit trackier, stickier too.
Oh, yeah. That's
okay. Cool.
So, it must work. They sell it.
Sure.
Is there better options out there? I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give her
let's get her. Now, whether the intention was to do this or not, Karl was right. This Velcro strap works great for locking out your front brake, and this allows us to start working on the rear end of the bike. So initially, I just lined the jack stand straight up and down and stood on it, and it actually lifted the bike relatively easily. The problem here is because that angle isn't 90 degrees, any kind of bumping sort of pushed the jack stand forward. So what I discovered was if I line it up 90 degrees to the jack stand, which means the foot is a little bit ahead of the top of the jack, and I use it like this, the stand itself actually becomes much more stable. So I'll just slide the key in here, the Allen key, to lock it out. But watch how much I can shake this now. And it's actually pretty stable. It actually moved a little bit right there, but the bike still remained relatively stable. I would use this. Now for the front, I put the bike in gear, and I actually put a little spacer under the side stand just to raise it up. And I also use these wheel chocks just because I've never tried this before. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Now, I experimented a little bit trying to figure out where to lift the bike from. Now, I don't have a skid plate. It would actually further complicate things. But in the end, you can kind of see I lifted it several different times before I could find a spot that actually was stable enough to keep the bike in place. Now you'll notice here that it sort of locks underneath the frame and actually into the case half itself. Now I have a little bit of a hard time getting the Allen key in here because of the angle. And I have a feeling that it's not critical, but I might want to make that hole a little bit bigger in the future. So you can kind of see I've cradled the engine itself on the stand, and it kind of locks into this little groove on the engine case on the DR. You'd want to experiment at home to figure out how this is going to work before you actually needed it. But in the end, I was able to get the front wheel off the ground, and overall the bike was relatively stable on this asphalt. So, I don't know, seemed to work okay. I definitely would want to make sure I loosen all the hardware on the wheels before I tried to pull a wheel off on a bike to limit the amount of stress. But it does seem to work. You can kind of see here it's relatively stable. Like I say, I've got it about 1.5 to 2 inches off the ground. It's locked into the engine case here. I don't know. Seemed to work. Karl was a little bit questionable about it, but I think we're okay. So I just release it here by pulling on the center of it. And let's try it out on the grass. So obviously I'm using a little piece of wood here underneath the side stand. And I brought along a little 3x4 inch piece of plywood as well out onto the grass for the jack stand. So the rear, pretty much exactly the same as on hard asphalt. I was able to lift it up, and even here I'm just using my hand. I found this to be a little more, a little less awkward than trying to stand on it. It works pretty good, still very, very stable. The front, again, is the more challenging part. You want to lift the whole bike up and it wants to rotate, and it takes a bit of time to figure out where the balance point is. And it can be a little bit frustrating, but I'll tell you, if you were in a pinch, I would put up with the frustration to try and get this front tire off the ground. Now, finally, I do get it to snap up into place and lift the front of that tire up. That seems to work pretty good. Again, it's pretty stable. You can see the back tire moves a little bit, but overall, it's actually pretty good. It's certainly not perfect, but it's usable. And here I'll show you how stable it is. It rocks a little bit here and there, but I do think if you're very gingerly with your use, you'd be okay. Well, that was interesting.
Oh, it was, it was a trip to the show.
A trip to the show. So what do we think some of the pros are for this thing, Karl?
Well, the cost is good, $32. You don't have to make anything up. It seems relatively well made. It's not a piece of junk or anything. It's thought out.
It's available. Like it arrived at my house in 2 days. Yeah. It was in the door. So
comes a little fancy storage bag.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like that, right? Because
it's simple. It's not complicated to use or anything.
Yeah.
Just that you have to find the right spot on the bike to lift, and that can be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a few more cons than there are positives about this. Maybe. Yeah. Most definitely, maybe the stability, right?
Yes.
You were watching me there. What were your thoughts on the stability?
Well, I thought it kind of sucked.
I didn't see you coming to my rescue.
Well, you know, on the trail, if you're by yourself and you're using this thing, if you got it just so, it would work. But
it's a little sketchy. I'll be honest with you. There's a couple times when I was lifting this thing that I thought, is this bike gonna roll?
It's got to be just in the right spot, and can't always do that. But
I found too. Finding the right, especially the front tire, was hard. I was lifting the back and the front all at the same time, and I think, like you had said about trying it before you ever need it.
Definitely, yeah. Try it out, but I don't know, it's all right.
And you did mention the storage bag. Now the storage, I like the fact it has its own storage bag. You don't have to buy something, but for me, I would prefer to see it, instead of having drawstrings like this, if it had a Velcro enclosure.
Yeah.
It would be nice if it was waterproof a little bit more. And the one thing that drove me nuts is, to use the jack, we had to extend the threaded screw all the way out. And then when you fold it, it wouldn't fit back in the bag. So you have to thread it in and out.
Yeah.
So if you're using this to oil your chain every day, you're out and doing this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hassle, but if you got a flat, it's going to be a hassle. But
and it's already showing wear. That's the other thing that is driving me nuts here.
Yeah,
it's nice that it comes with this, right? An extra pad, but it's already showing wear.
Yeah, because it's so hard to get it under a certain part of the bike. And
what do you think of the hardware that's bent?
Well, I think maybe this threaded rod could be maybe a little longer, or an extra nut in here to help it stabilize.
Yeah.
It looks like you get it up not fully extended, but all the way out. You're relying on this threaded rod, so it might bend a little bit, which it has.
Yeah, and the DR is not considered to be a heavy bike, right?
But it's made to a price, and if it gets you out of the jam, it'd be all right. But we tried it; it works. Is there something better out there?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, the discussion that we had in the beginning, maybe, like who might buy this, right? Is, I guess, a person who wants every single ounce to count, right? So they want a lightweight jack. Yeah. They maybe don't want the extra weight of a center stand. But for you and I think a center stand's a better option.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
You know, we both had center stands on bikes in the past. They really are nice for daily service, adjusting your chain if you get a flat. I think if you're riding with another person,
yes,
it becomes a little bit better.
Yes.
Because you could have stepped in and stabilized the bike for me.
Sure.
And I would have felt a lot more comfortable working around.
Yeah, because you know, and everything slides apart, and something to do before you start your job, loosen your heart.
Yes, that's the other thing.
You don't want to be having this up in the air on the bike and trying to undo the nut
so break all the hardware free, so it's nice and loose.
Yeah,
spends less time on the jack, right?
Less time, better.
Yeah.
But
so I don't know. Like, I think overall it's pretty good. Now, I guess we got to come up with some way to rate this, Karl. What do you think we should do for a rating on that?
Well, I gave it a lot of thought.
Yeah.
And what I come up with is the Gongarator.
The Gongarator.
It's the Gongarator, and I do it based on out of 5.
Out of five
out of 5
gongs.
5 is good. No gong is bad.
The no gong.
So I'm going to rate it right now. I think it's worthy of.
It's good. What's that?
That's a 2.5 gong.
2.5
gongs.
2.5 gongs.
It works, but I think we can do better.
So you're saying? Are you saying then that you would buy this thing again? If you were looking for a solution, would this be something?
No, I'd let you buy it first and try it, and if it didn't work, then I'd look at something else. But I think the center stand's the way to go, but depending what you're doing, where you're going.
Yeah, I think it's a hard decision to make. I think if you maybe were a little light on funds, you wanted something that was light, you didn't like the idea of a center stand, and you didn't have the ability to make something, because I think you could make something like this
It's something
better.
to build on, definitely. Yes, I think we could do it.
And it might be a viable option for you. And I do think, again, if you were out in the middle of nowhere and needed to change a flat, this would be better than nothing. But it is a little sketchy. I mean, we were really playing with it on level ground and grass. That's what we tried it on. And I think too, you probably want to keep along a couple pieces of wood in your kit too, which adds to the bulk, so that you can put one underneath here and one underneath the side stand to get the front wheel up a little bit higher. So 2.5 gongs. So this is how we're going to start rating stuff.
Oh, it's
the Gongarator.
The Gongarator. Oh, what's the Gongarator?
The Gongarator.
We'll put it back.
All right. Well, that's good, Karl. I think I hope that helps some people out there. It was a lot of fun playing with this thing, and I love the gong. That's pretty good.
Well,
so
you gotta rate something. Huh?
Yeah. So anyway, thanks again, everybody, for stopping by. I'm Dino.
Karl.
And we'll see you soon again on Dino's Tinker Shed. You be safe and take care. Bye now. The Gongarator. I like that.
The Gongarator.
The Gongarator.